Thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, our first panelist this evening, RatuJoniMadraiwiwi, who's Roko. He is first and foremost a paramount chief, a traditional leader who is a lawyer by profession. Ratu Joni is an eminent scholar and has served Fiji with distinction for some 20 years in a career that's included the private practice, the judiciary, as a High Court judge, and as Fiji's Vice President from 2004 to 2006. Agreeing to be part of the panel this evening is based on his personal interest and Ratu Joni's conviction that leadership plays a crucial role in the family and development dynamics more broadly. He will speak on the role of national leadership in the evolving structures of the family. Please welcome Ratu Joni. Thank you.
Madam Moderator, Deputy Director of UNFPA, Minister Lubeni, discussant colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. The role of national leadership in the evolving structures of the family. The proposition that the family is the basic unit of society is an unremarkable one. However, in the context of the Pacific, the term has long been understood as referring to the wider extended relationships based on blood and kinship ties. That is now changing as globalization, the market economy, and urbanization exert pressures on communal living. The result is the emergence of evolving structures ranging between extended families, the basic household of parents and children, couples with no children, single-parent families, and single people as well. How can this phenomenon of diversity be taken into account in policy and decision-making? First, there must be a recognition of this aspect of modern Pacific societies. Unless this happens, there is a risk that initiatives intended to reinforce the family are unsuccessful because they ignore realities on the ground. There needs to be continual assessment and appraisal of the family profile in our communities in order to determine what mix of policies and support can best strengthen family structures as presently constituted. Part of this process includes a debate about what approaches, if any, are to be adopted regarding the family structure itself. Ought we to endorse a particular structure, whether extended, nuclear, or combination of both? Or should we leave that to evolve and provide reinforcement as and when necessary? The answer is that it will be neither one nor the other, because social transformation is not a tidy exercise. It is a disorderly and haphazard, because the plethora of influences which shape social change, interacting and affecting outcomes in varying degrees and different ways. Recognizing the profound developments taking place at a bewildering pace, it would be useful to identify broad priorities around which policies can be developed and initiatives taken. Our extended family networks continue to provide a case of common community and a sense of strengthening, connecting generations. They can also be reinforced as an appropriate means of looking after the elderly and senior citizens in our midst. What type of support can be provided by the state to those who choose to care for them? At the same time, we have to recognize the trend towards nuclear families as well as the incidence of single-parent families. Gender equality and career opportunities for women also mean the expansion of childcare facilities to cater for the demands of working women. Gender equality in the full sense of the term is providing women with choices and options, whether to have a career or to be in the home or to have both or combination thereof. They call for flexibility and responsive action by governments. In the continuing quest for gender and wider equality, our youth require broad exposure to civic values at school, in places of worship, and during organized sport to help shape individual and familial perspectives. It helps to foster mutual respect, tolerance, civility and compassion that promotes stable families irrespective of what form they may take, which is exactly the point of this contribution, strengthening the family per se so that the young have a safe and secure upbringing, whether they are in extended, wider, single-parent families or in between. Is there a place for tradition and custom in this conversation? Families in its various forms provide the mechanism for socialization, while custom and tradition are reference points for identity and being. They have a role in reinforcing the familial structures of the 21st century, recognizing them and affirming them, familiarizes and reinforces societal and community acceptance. It also strengthens kinship ties and social cohesion. Notwithstanding the ideals we have of happy families, rooted in the various religious traditions we may follow, the world as we find it, and the world is as we find it and not as we would like. Just as our cultures and customs have demonstrated a measure of acceptance of strangers and outsiders, so they might be more affirming of those within our midst. In order to support family structures as they evolve amidst the constancy of change and innovation, we need to understand how these factors are affecting them and what the effects are. Only then can the institutions of state and civil society provide the support necessary to ensure the building of peaceable and prosperous, secure societies that are founded on happy families, whether it is by way of taxation, relief, financial support, parental leave, and care and counselling, as well as education and religious upbringing. The well-being of families is not merely a concern for leaders. It is and should be our collective and highest priority, because it is at the heart of our existence as human beings. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you very much, Ratu Joni.